Hello there, good evening. My name is Dodou Jah and thank you very much for joining us. Coming up on the show tonight, the UTG matriculates nearly 3,000 students. Those are the new students of the UTG getting inducted on Wednesday. Also, the National Health Policy validation commences. We have a report for you on that too. Coco Ocean lights Christmas tree to mark beginning of festive season. Today my guest will be Dodou Jah of the APRC. Before we get into the show proper, we will see the newspapers and what they are reporting on. We'll begin with the Standard newspaper for today. Audit report on COVID response reveals millions spent without justification. That's the Standard newspaper lead story. There, a damning report from the National Audit Office obtained by the Standard has revealed that tens of millions of dollars was expended by the government in its COVID-19 response, that is the procurement and distribution of medical and food items without following due process. It also highlighted millions more transactions that could have been avoided. According to the report, total payments amounting to $24 million were made without obtaining the necessary approval from the procurement committee. That's the Standard lead story. Another story there on the Standard, government to distribute TRRC report tomorrow. For the first time since being presented the TRRC report, the Gambia government will face the media tomorrow to give the public and key stakeholders updates on the report. The Minister of Justice confirmed the event is in line with the TRRC Act and it will be held at the Sadawda Karaba Jawara Conference Center after Friday prayers. This is tomorrow. 60-year-old charged with indecent assault. The trial of a 60-year-old man accused of indecent assault of a 3-year-old child continued at the Carnegie Magistrates Court yesterday. Pretty much the story is there for you on the Standard. The Point newspaper is reporting about musician ST, saying musician ST in legal tussle. Nuha Bojang, a student, has dragged Sanasingate alias ST, a musician, to the Carnegie Magistrates Court, claiming the recovery of the sum of $25,000 is being an amount owed by the defendant. They put owed by it, but he also claimed the sum of $51,800 as damages for breach of contract or agreement and cost and any further orders the court may deem fit. Yes, that's the newspapers for you. We'll be right back.
Receive your money transfer at any of our branches across the country with ease, including our new branches in Bajakunda, Jareng, Same, and Sandu Dar Salame. No long queues, no hassle. With Easy Financial Services, get more for your money. You can also send money anywhere in the world with Easy Financial Services. We also do foreign currency exchange, bank deposit, EcoBank Express Point, bill payments, and many more. For more information, contact us on +220 700 0819 or visit our website at www.easyfinancial.gm.
Thank you and welcome back. So the UTG yesterday matriculated or inducted nearly 3,000 students. Well, these are the new students of the UTG. More in this report.
I will, to the best of my ability, pursue seriously my course of studies in the University of the Gambia, abide by the rules and regulations of the university.
Around 3,000 students taking their oath to stay loyal to the cause of the University of the Gambia. This was the 11th matriculation ceremony of students of the UTG. The interim Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, Professor Pierre Gomez, asked the students to feel proud that they are students of the UTG.
You have every right to feel proud to be students of this institution. It is my strong belief that you will learn, nurture, and develop knowledge and skills that will propel you forward in the challenging world of the 21st century. We have assembled competent and experienced professors, lecturers, administrators, and other professionals to provide you with the training you require and ensure that your stay in UTG is productive.
The UTG has not held matriculation for students for some time. The UTG top scholar Professor Gomez, who have been serving in the interim role of Vice Chancellor following the departure of Professor Anjum, said administrative and government issues caused the issue of matriculation not taking place.
We have not held matriculation ceremonies for some time now because of a myriad of administrative and governance issues. We're now trying to bring order. We're now trying to bring sanity. We're now trying to go back to tradition. UTG must go back to what it is known for. We have henceforth resolved to hold matriculation ceremonies at the end of every admission sessions.
Professor Gomez also warned the students that they are solely responsible for their actions while studying at the UTG.
Remember that you were admitted as an individual and you will graduate as an individual. You are therefore solely responsible for all your actions. Don't blame anybody. Because when you came in, you came as an individual. Take your education, your destiny into your own hands.
The matriculation event is coming amid the UTG getting a new Vice-Chancellor. President Adama Barrow, who is the Chancellor, has approved the appointment of the UK-based Gambian Professor Herbert Robertson, who will be the UTG's 5th Vice-Chancellor. TFN News View, Mati Senghor.
I will.
Now, elsewhere, the National Health Policy validation has started. This is the validation of the National Health Policy by the government. It began yesterday, that's on Wednesday, at the Sadawara Kereba Jawara Conference Center. More in this report.
The Ministry of Health has today stated a 2-day National Health Policy validation exercise at the Sadawara Kereba International Conference Center. The said health policy is intended to guide operations and activities in the health sector till 2030. Speaking on the theme of the policy, Building Partnership for Quality Healthcare, the Minister of Health, Dr. Amadou Lamin Samate, said the country's health system needs to reform to implement modern trends in the healthcare delivery.
We strengthen the public health sector. This should all come out in the policy document very strongly to ensure that the people of the country and the world are protected. So I think no country has been stretched with regards to healthcare service delivery the way we all have been recently. And we happen to be developing this policy at that time. So there should be no gaps. The previous policy document was very useful and it has increased, it has supported, it had been the foundation for healthcare development in this country. Nonetheless, going through it, we all realize that there have been a number of gaps. And this is an opportunity to ensure that those gaps are filled in and the new challenges are also addressed in the policy development.
The key drafter of the policy, Dr. George, thanked the health minister and the team for granting him the opportunity to use his expertise in contributing to national development, stressing that the policy, when implemented, Gambia's health sector.
For me, it is an honor, a privilege, because this is a sector I think I know best, as I've worked most of my life with it. And the good thing is that I have worked with most of you during this process, during these past years. All of us did good work, and I'm happy to see that you also continue this good work. At the end of the day, it's our people that we want to serve and to give them the best of what we can do for them, because we are in a more privileged position than most of them. So we should at all times remember that it's a service to the community.
WHO representative Dr. Makawa registered the continued commitment of the UN Health Agency in working with the Health Ministry to attain more development in the health sector.
Today marks a special day in the calendar of the health sector. It is a day when all stakeholders, walks of life came together to evaluate what has been proposed as the health sector visions for the next 10 years. We are pleased that the country has been able to work throughout these difficult times and develop a robust draft national health policy. This process has taken over a year throughout numerous consultations as mentions the Director of Plannings. While currently many countries struggle to focus beyond fighting against COVID-19, the Gambia has managed to devote time and resources to developing national strategic plans and new policies. One of the excellent examples, along with this policy development, is the establishment of the new insurance scheme, as already highlighted Dr. Sams.
Reporting for the Fatu Network, I am Maimunaba.
Buy Parfum, the first perfume bar in Gambia. Buy Parfum, it's another way to perfume yourself in a luxurious and attractive shop called Buy Parfum. Come and find rare and natural churai flowers, and also the fragrances of the biggest popular brands: Oud Private Collection, Air Freshener, Flora, Venus, Fresh 24, and many other products. With Buy Parfum, discover the Parfum Bar, a new concept in the world. Personalize your scents with the Parfum Bar. With the Parfum Bar, choose the perfume that looks like you. Buy Parfum, 54 Kayoraba Avenue, opposite to American Embassy. You can join us on 77000225 or 529-1888. Buy Parfum Gambia. You will really love it.
Welcome back. So today I will be accompanied by the deputy spokesman of the APRC. We will be discussing the big event of 2020, the election. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Lamin, for having me on the
Our very first interview since the election, the 2020 election.
That's very true.
Very well. So let's begin with your takeaways. What are the takeaways, the lessons for you, and by extension, your party, the APRC?
Well, it's not a surprise, first of all. I was privileged to be part of the Meet the People store. What I saw and heard definitely gave me firm conviction that the president was going to win. And again, I was privileged again to be part of the campaign tour. What I've also witnessed throughout the country when we went on tour definitely gave me the firm conviction. I was a bit skeptical about West Coast and KM.
Yeah.
Because the politics in these two regions is very different. Of course, Banjul inclusive, but I know what the president did in Banjul, no other candidate was able to achieve. But going through it, I have learned that Gambians, for instance, we talk about the silent voters. It's something very alive and kicking. And we've been saying it, politics is not only on social media. In fact, a very small percentage focus on social media, 6 to 8%. I extend it to 8% mostly, and whom of which most of them are not going to vote. They engage in sensitizing, criticizing, positively, negatively. But this election, I would say, it was a matter of voting for peace. Throughout the country, that's what has been vibrating. People wanted a very peaceful leader, which they've seen in the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, in his quest to unite Gambians and advocate for peace. I think that is a key factor in most Gambians voting for him.
So you were surprised in terms of the margin by which the president won, right?
Yes, I knew we were going to win. I've been saying it on media, but to be honest, the margin that we won, I was not expecting that, to be quite honest. It really took many aback. I was definitely surprised.
And also, the election came amid this crisis in your party, right? You have your supreme leader and the breakaway group going this way, backing the GDC, while those loyal to Fabakary Tombong Jatta backing the president, and you end up being in the winning team. Would you say that you've been vindicated?
Not actually. We were 100% sure that majority were with us. We've been saying it. Whilst on the other hand, they've been bragging. They have 95%, 97% APRC. I said, from where? because most of their campaign is just based in West Coast, especially the Fonyis. And that's not all for APRC. I've been saying it. When people say Fonyi is our stronghold, I said no. Fonyi is not our stronghold. Taking into account the number of votes that are in the 5 constituencies of Fonyi, if that's all that APRC has, then definitely we're no powerhouse as far as politics is concerned. But knowing the dynamics of politics in this country and always vying from one region to the other, I know APRC might and strength is not only in West Coast, but in all the regions that we've been attesting to. And on the other side, I wasn't worried. I've been saying it. People who definitely rallied behind Fabakary Tombong Jatta are renowned politicians. Nobody can doubt that. So those who decided to break away, the question mark was, who were they? You know, most people talk about Lamin Tamba, especially because he does Facebook Live. What weight does Lamin Tamba carry as far as ground politics is concerned in this country? We've been saying it, that politics in this country is based on the grassroots. Yes. You know, you talk about Pamodumbo. When has Pamodumbo become relevant in the APRC? Yes. The likes of Dodou Jah, Yaya Tamba. What weight do they carry politically as far as APRC is concerned? So all the heavyweights were on the side of Tambang. You know, those that are known from the length and breadth of this country.
So now also, I have seen this report and counter report on the Standard by Yankuba Koli, a heavyweight member of your party, saying that the credit goes to you regarding President Barrow's victory. Is this really the case? Is it APRC that really made the president to win this election?
Well, we have been saying it, and the president himself said it. As we said, we're going to be king or kingmakers. Whoever that the APRC support is going to State House. We've said that when some doubted us. The president himself said the best political decision he has ever made is to make an alliance with the APRC. And again, he said it in one of the meetings, you know, addressing his political father, Honorable Ousainou Darboe, that APRC-NPP alliance will take him to forceful retirement. You know, and it's based on what the president have been seeing in the past. And when the alliance came into being, it is as if you just call the whole Gambia. It's like a wake-up call. All of you must support the president. He has seen that, and he himself has said it. But of course, we were not alone in it. We must give credit to other political parties and independent candidates. Like the voting system we have, it's like ruled by majority, you know, which is a simple majority. Even if somebody edges you with a single vote, he or she becomes the winner of our election. So no party for me is small. No independent aspirant or candidate we would definitely undermine. Even 10 votes count, and they all carry weight as far as politics is concerned.
Would you say that APRC has sent Darboe to retirement?
Of course, we've said it, I think, especially when the spokesperson came and said they don't need APRC votes. You know, instead, there's nothing from APRC that they needed. So we told them, politically, we are a heavyweight. And wherever we throw our weight, that will become the winner of the day. And history has proven us right.
But UDP is not accepting the result. They are disputing it. They said you cheated your way to victory.
Well,
what do you have to say about that?
Well,
did you cheat? Did you steal this election?
I would definitely disagree to that. They have every right to file for a petition. They have every right to disagree, like they have been doing. This is not the first time. Yes. From '96 to date, when did UDP ever came out publicly and said, we have accepted the elections were free and fair? They've been claiming that they were the ones who were winning the previous elections. They were being cheated. Yes. To the extent the former IEC chairman, Mr. Carroll, has to come out in the open and refute that, because they even said they had evidences of that, you know, which they never produced. So it is no surprise. They have every right to do so. But again, I am one amongst many who have ever since been against ballot paper. That is no secret. A lot of people have known me for that. Yes. These were one of the factors I never wanted ballot paper. I said we must embrace something we know, something we're used to, that everybody, you know, is open to that system, and that is the marble. Not only that, but it was on the spot counting. I hear a lot of allegations. For me, they are unfounded. If you say foreigners came to vote,
yes,
for me, that's an insult to the people who voted.
Yes.
Because during the registration process, they registered people who had documents. You know, the least they could produce was attestation, where people can challenge and said, okay, this attestation we're giving to foreigners. But who is a citizen and who is a foreigner? Sometimes the claims they said, people crossing the border. But who's telling you that those crossing the border are foreigners? Our law says, and I'll keep repeating it, one of your grandparents or your parents must be a Gambian for you to become a Gambian. Where you're born, it's not important. Where you're residing, it's not important. Your name, surname, the language you speak, whether you're fluent in the local languages, that is not a category to make you a Gambian. You could be born in this country, speak very good wall of Mandinka Fola, and yet still you are a foreigner. So for me, the basis definitely, it's not definitely grounded to say foreigners came and voted, because our voting process is very transparent.
Yes.
If you're not registered, you cannot vote. That is very well known, because you'll have to tender your voter's card. They will say Dodou Jah, yes. All the party agents there, they will have to check whether my name is on that list. Sometimes even give them the page 16, and you read out the serial number on the card, they confirm, they will tick. That's when they will dip one of your finger into that ink, that indelible ink, and you'll be given a marble to vote for the candidate of your choice. So if a foreigner steps up, even when you acquire a voter's card, but if you're not on that list, definitely nobody's going to allow you to vote. So how did the cheating occur? That must be made clear. But instead, they are challenging the campaign process instead of the election results, based on the petition that the UDP filed, and based on the claims that are coming even from the GDC party, because I listened to one of MC Champ's interview. He talked about foreigners voted, they gave money, they gave this. Hello.
The issue of bribery. Did you bribe anyone?
Not to my knowledge. And why should people be bribed? Campaign from the Meet the People tour and the campaign tour, it's no secret. All the media houses were there. What was being tendered, how the process went, it was shown live on online medias and our state TVs. So what bribery are they talking about? People make demands. We wanted A, B, and C, and promise was given that it will be delivered, and promise was fulfilled. So if one calls that bribery, whilst they themselves did the same, the UDP, they gave out cooking pots, football jerseys, even cash. You know, likewise, other candidates and political parties, or most of them did. So what's the bribery in that? I heard they talked about that the alcalos are promised to be giving salaries. You know, that's not under the carpet. This is something that Parliament must approve, and the President make it public. There's nothing that went under the carpet. So they have every right to query and to lay complaints. But to say that bribery underwent, let them bring out the evidences.
So in terms of the victory, APRC is part and parcel of that. But in terms of your breakaway members, Jammeh, former President Jammeh, remains your dear supreme leader, even though he called you traitors and then went the other way.
Yeah.
How are you going to go about that now that you are in government and you have Jammeh in the outside?
It's not going to be easy. It is going to be very difficult, because the president is in charge per the laws of this country. Anything cannot be decided in his absence. And Jammeh have been calling him names. So I definitely would leave that for the president to see what he will come up with. And again, he alone cannot do it.
Will you accept whatever the president is going to take, whatever decision he is going to take regarding Jammeh? Because we have seen the president commit to the issue of justice. The TRRC report has been submitted to him, and he has, promised the victims that justice will be done. Will the APRC that is with him accept whatever decision? Because the president is saying this is not just going to be his decision. This is going to be a decision of his entire government. Is APRC ready to accept whatever decision that is going to be taken regarding Jammeh?
If it is in line with the laws of the land, who are we to say no? The country is bigger than us as a party, is bigger than us as individuals. And we as Gambians, we have nothing against the victims. We've been saying that. Justice will serve its cause, but it's not going to be like people could bend it to a corner to settle scores with certain individuals or the former president. No. Let the law take its course. We're not against justice, and we'll definitely support the victims ourselves.
So the issue of the government now, where would you want to see APRC in this government? of the president?
I'm not expecting much. We have to be very frank. We have to be very honest. The president was not alone. He had people he's been working with and people who stood by him and helped and supported. You don't expect him to dump everybody. Yes, he has to build his cabinet. You know, he has to choose the people he wants, but you don't expect him to do a fresh start. There are a lot of people who've been by him, who stood by him and did very well. And after all, how many positions are available? We need to be honest to each other. We're not expecting a big change that APRC must dominate. We're not saying that. Despite, you know, the small in size of cabinet, no matter how much positions we're giving, we're promising to do our utmost to serve this country at any capacity. But there's nothing specific for the APRC, I can guarantee you that.
Let's also talk about the issue of monkey walk, baboon chop, right? The return to power or to government of APRC. In 2016, it was the UDP that spearheaded the change of effort. I mean, they laid down their lives and all of that, only for them to be kicked out and APRC to come right back in. Yes. What do you have to say about that?
Were they really kicked out? That would have to, it's a different topic. I would quite disagree that they were kicked out.
Yes.
It's like they opted to be out because for the fact that they declared they want a government of their own, that was definitely difficult.
Impossible.
You know, yeah, you could say that, but that's, they believed in that, and that's what they were pushing for. Knowing the dynamics of politics in this country, it will be very difficult, you know, for a single party to become dominant. APRC for 2 decades, we were not alone in it. There were others on board, even those who were hardcore opposition to the president, like the likes of Wajuara, who end up, you know, manding positions in our government. That shows the diversity in this country. No single party can just do it alone. We must have to accept that. But like we always said, we're different. We're not out, you know, to revenge or to settle any scores. Our focus is Gambia. We want to see a progressing country. We want to see a united country, all of us come together. I've been advocating for, that is my philosophy, it's my belief, that each political party, I even believe they should be giving, you know, a space in cabinet, a space in government, you know, to show what they can prove. For instance, give agriculture ministry to UDP. Let them show Gambians what they can do with it. Give education.
But don't you think that is risky? I mean, the issue why UDP left the government, according to President Adam Barrow, is because they were sabotaging his development effort.
Yes.
So someone who is not in the same boat with you, giving one of your most important sectors to that person would be a gamble.
Well, the concept of
because you need loyalty, total, absolute loyalty.
Of course.
Yes.
This is not just dishing out a position or a portfolio or a department or institution to a political party. You must definitely have that sit over with them. Of course, the interest must be there. If they say they're not interested, you cannot push it down their throat. This is like my belief that it's the type of Gambia we need to build. Politics aside, we're all Gambians. You cannot just be opposition on attacking, criticizing, you know, even if the president does anything positive, you don't have eyes to see that, you don't have ears to hear that. I don't believe in such type of politics. When things are not going right, well, positively, you can criticize. So I'm not the type who believe in regionalism or a particular tribe. You know, there are certain people, whenever they speak, all you hear is they want to talk about Fonyi, they want to talk about their own Fonyi, people who've been harassed. That full stop and nothing else. I don't believe in such type of politics. I'm a Gambian and I'm open to East, West,
in fact, that issue is very important because that has also been rehearsed. It has been repeated many, many times. The issue of tribe playing a part in this election.
Mm-hmm.
You have some going to the extent of saying this was a fight against the Mandinkas. However, that ridiculous that is.
Well, I don't believe in that. You know, and I am one amongst many who believe that there's no tribalism in this country. We have tribalists, people who believe in that concept, who are trying to peddle it. And I am saying, and I'll keep saying, they will always fail. You know, going into our communities, we all live together. You know, in our compounds, at workplaces, at school, everywhere. We're all integrated. You don't differentiate who belongs to what tribe. So when it comes to politics, they want to tribalize it. It's not going to work. And no single tribe in this country can single-handedly win elections. I have been saying that. And in fact, it is made believe that Mandinkas are the majority. I have my reservations for that.
Yes.
There are a lot of people, they speak Mandinka, but they are not Mandinka. From my own tribesmen, you know, I always give examples. You have people, you know, by the name Seidi Ba, they say they're Mandinka, Seidi Li, Seidi Khan. They are not Mandinka, they are Fulani. Because in our own tribe, when we use the word Seidi, it is used with like plural of respect. We told Seidi Jah, you know, Seidi Bari, Seidi Sow. Like in Fulani, we're all Seidi. It is used for plural of respect. Seidi Ba is not Mandinka. The surname is Ba. And Ba cannot be Mandinka. Seidi Li, the surname is Li. Seidi Khan, the surname is Khan.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of people who are from the Jola tribe. You know, they claim to be Mandinkas. So let's put aside tribe. People will tell you like surnames don't belong anywhere. You could carry any surname and belong to any type of tribe. I am saying no to that. You know, you cannot say your surname is Jalo and you are Manjago. Hello. People will say, no, that cannot be. No. You cannot be Mendy and you claim to be Seril. Of course, surnames have where they belong to. So this issue of tribe, for me, I think it is important we all identify ourselves as Gambians.
Mr. Jah, thank you very much. We've run out of time. So thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Always a pleasure for having me.
So, Mr. Dodou Jah of the APRC, the deputy spokesman of the APRC, he was my guest today on the show. Thank you for being there. Goodbye from me. Until next week.